Welcome to Focus on B, the single-part video series where I take a look at a game that I definitely wouldn't want to let's play, but I mean, hey, it's gonna make for an interesting video now, won't it? And this is Pilotwings. This is the game that I keep hearing about. Like, I've heard its name mentioned in so many goddamn videos, but I've never actually seen it in action. All I knew about it was that it was a technically impressive game for the respective Nintendo system, that being SNES and also N64. I'm not going to do the 3DS one because of gyro stupid stuff and 3D, and I don't care, to be honest. You'd think I would because I actually own a 3DS, but I don't own that particular game and I don't really care to play it any other way. Oh yeah, break, I completely forgot about that. So what kind of game is this? Well, let's be real, this is a technical showpiece. That's what it is. It's look at our Mode 7, landing okay, thank you very much. And you know what's weird? Is that it's actually kind of okay. Like, it's a pretty well-made game as far as glorified tech demos go. It's very good. It has that Nintendo polish. It's got a lot of... It plays very smoothly. That's the interesting thing, right? Because all it does is... It's an illusion. The 3D in this game isn't really, so to speak, like the kind of 3D that you would expect to see in something more like Star Fox, which runs like dog shit, right? Look at this. This is just a flat plane. Also, you can totally skip that. That's a really nice little feature. You can skip it, and you've just got basically just a series of challenges. It's a very simple game at its core, and it really doesn't have much in the way of... I guess that has replay value. The challenges are fun, and I'm actually going to be playing both this and, as I said, the N64 one. That's right. This is going to be like a... I don't know, a double feature, if that makes sense. I mean, it's going to be the same length, you know, 20 or so minutes. I'm just going to spend about 10 minutes with this one and then another 10 minutes with the N64 one, because they're basically the same game. There's not that much to talk about. But as you can see, it's actually very good looking, Pilotwings. And not even just in the sense that, whoa, look at how impressive it is. I mean, there's still an aesthetic appeal to the way that the Mode 7 visuals are presented. Not to mention that the gameplay, because it's all just kind of, it's fake 3D, it runs super smoothly. Like, this is a very smooth and easy to play game. Hey, great landing. I wasn't expecting that. Nice. The game does get a little more punishing later on. I can't say I've played too much of it beforehand. I really, keep in mind, it is impossible to go backwards. Why do you look so angry? I love these, like, these are such typical early 90s Japanese art style portraits. There's something about the way characters used to be drawn back then. But there we go, we got our license. Oh yeah, we got this chick too. So, complete free objectives, blah, blah, blah. And now we get introduced to the rocket belt. Let's go ahead and do that before we go back to the stuff we've already done. Whoa, look at our sprite scaling. And we can check out the maneuvers right here. We got shift view. Yeah, so you don't really use those. Fast jets, slow jets. It's really simple. This is not a simulation of any kind of any of the things that we're seeing here. It's more so just a fun, arcadey little way to demonstrate what the system can do. And I think it's very effective, really. I wouldn't say I want to, like, play this all day or anything, but I do feel that it deserves a little bit of a spotlight, mainly because it's strange how I've never seen it in action. Not just for myself, but, I don't know, people sometimes just don't feature the footage, I guess, when they reference it, because seriously, I've heard this name, Pilotwings, so many times in the same context of it being like a tech demo launch title for the Super Nintendo and also for the N64 and then for the 3DS as well. But I had no idea what it was actually like. And you know what it's like? It's fun. It's very simple. This music is fucking ridiculous. Listen to this. Okay, the ridiculous part is over. I wanted you to hear the weird fucking vocal samples that were going on, because they were just basically going like, hey, look, guys, we can sample sounds. I mean, okay, actually, the NES could do that as well. Am I gonna get it? There you go, great landing. The NES could do that as well, but it was also, you know, very low fidelity. But honestly, think about this for a second. This was like 1991. I believe the Super Nintendo came out the year 1990 in Japan, but it came out very early 91 in America. And that's generally because, as we all know, America is the only part of the world that actually exists, and therefore, therefore that's the only bit where it matters. You know, it's like, oh, what do you mean the system came out X amount of time beforehand? And no, that doesn't actually matter, okay? It's all about when it came out in the States. But yeah, but think about it for a second, because I'm trying to put myself in the context, right, of the time. because you're fresh off of the NES. So to see something like this, I mean, look at this shit. This is actually very believable. It's not, oh fuck, it's not realistic looking per se, but it's, when I look at this, I see a guy falling from the sky with a parachute, and I can feel depth. There's like no shading, everything is like flat colors. But the way the perspective works and the way it's distorted, in fact, sometimes the low resolution kind of helps because it makes it feel like it's farther away. I genuinely feel like right now I am falling. The sense of distance is a little bit off, which is why there's these meters off to the side that are about to pop up any second now. There it is. In order to make it more obvious as to exactly how far you have to go before you land, because it's not super clear. Am I gonna... Great landing, apparently. Cool. I'm always surprised. I keep expecting to fail because these kind of games can be pretty punishing. But as you can see, I only really fucked up on 2 things. Whatever. You can still do it. Yes, I know I can still do it. I'm going to go ahead and go to the light plane. I just realized I haven't saved a single state this whole thing. I typically abuse save states like a motherfucker with these kind of games, but to be fair, this game isn't all that challenging, and not to mention that, honestly, I mean, how long have I been recording? Yeah, I might just end up switching over to, Pilotwings 64 in a bit. I don't know, I think I want to do a couple more events here just to see what we can do, and then move on to the next game. I mean, next game, it's like the last game, of course. And this whole session is just going to be like multi-part games. You're probably the next, or again, the previous, depending on which one I choose to upload first. The next or previous Focus on B is also going to be a multi-gamer, if that makes sense. Like, you're gonna see a lot of different games. It's that, I think okay, we're gonna have to retry that. I think this game was a little more punishing though, because I'm pretty sure you can't actually reset. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I think I literally have to just do this whole thing all over again. Yes, I do. Okay, let's just do the light plane one again, just to, you know, prove that we can do it, I guess, like that really matters that much. And then we'll go ahead and switch over to Pilotwings 64, because it's 64 bits, don't you know? God, that's so weird. Only the video game industry can get away with that. Like, imagine if film all of a sudden went like this thing, but in color. Well, actually, I don't know enough about the past of films to say for sure, because maybe that is the case. Maybe there are movies that have, oh, frick. Okay, there you go, fixed it. There you, okay. Let's try not to destroy this thing again. All right, okay, let's move on to the world of polygons. Holy crap, look at all these polygons. Yeah, okay, so suddenly we are in 3D. This is Pilotwings 64, released like 5 years later for the Nintendo 64. And wow, you know what? It's not aged super well. I'm not one of those fucking millennials, or well, I guess I'm Gen Z technically, who's like, every game from this time looked bad, aged bad. No, there's actually a lot of games that have aged really well from this time period. And you know what, for a launch title, I think this one's actually aged better than... honestly, I think this looks more polished than Mario 64. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Damn it. Okay, let's die. Oh, why does he make such a fucking guttural scream? Just like, dead. Fortunately, in this one, we get to retry. Yeah, because in 5 years, they realized, hey, people don't want to have to start the whole thing all over again. They just want to start the individual thing over again. So we can go ahead and give it another shot. But yeah, as you can see, you know, the environments are quite colorful. It's not as colorful as the original because there's this thing called shading that's been implemented. That's really the defining look of the N64. It's not so much the texture filtering, not so much the bilinear filtering, the low frame rate. It's the colors. Because PS1 games, and actually, I guess in a way also Super Nintendo games from the generation prior, they were just so much more colorful because they didn't have all this shading and stuff, which was impressive for sure. Although I feel like sometimes certain lighting effects on the PS1 were more appealing visually. Like, I swear, everything on N64 just kind of looks like... Seriously, am I fucking dead again? No, we're doing that again, okay? We're gonna speed through. Well, actually, I never figured out how to get Project 64 to speed up, to be honest, so we're just gonna keep doing it. But, yeah, like, there's something about the N64 look that I personally describe as looking like cardboard. Everything looks like cardboard in these games. Nothing looks organic in any way. And it's got to be a combination of the textures, the exact geometry and the quality of it, the way it's been modeled, the animation, the lighting on the characters, stuff like that, that PS1 just looks more organic. Like, again, I think I mentioned this a while ago. I was playing, like, you know, the Spider-Man year 2000 game for the PS1 and the N64. And the PS1 version, despite, again, technically being inferior... Oh, for fuck's sake, how are you supposed to land this shit? I don't understand. Okay, we're gonna give it one more shot, then I'll just go on to something else, because this is fucking stupid. Like, what's up with these games that they feel like I know they were technically made for a different market? Well, no, because even though Japanese games are made by the Japanese, they're made for the Americans, because that's where they gotta make their money. So it's like, they would do their research, right, and figure out how we wanna, well, I'm not American, but you get the idea, like, the Western person, if that makes sense. Because as far as Japan's concerned, I guess Europe is also on the West, right? Or would it be the other way? Because depending on where you look at it, whatever. Okay, the point is, though, that this game's fucking confusing and annoying, and I had to look up how to beat the third mission. Like, genuinely. Okay, let's try and slow down very gradually, okay? But not too suddenly, because then we die. So, like this, very careful, very careful, very careful, and... How do you land this? This is actually impossible. It's not impossible because I was able to land it, but fuck it, we're gonna quit. I'm not gonna force you guys to watch me fail to land the same thing. I accidentally launched the same thing, and of course oh no, there you go. Rocket belt. Let's try something different. Hopefully this one will control better. Maybe for the sake of my ego, I'll go back later and try and actually land that. Anyway, what were my other points that I wanted to talk about regarding this and the original game? I think it's a matter of comparison and how technology, when it gets pushed to another... Here's the funny thing, right? When it comes to the Super Nintendo, I don't even know if we ever reached its limit. Other than stuff like Star Fox and that one other racing game, not F-Zero, but this other racing game which had polygons and was kind of ugly. No, but the N64, the entire 5th generation, but I feel like especially the N64, it was pushed beyond the limit from the get-go. This was, you know, a lot of people blame, I believe, the 7th console generation for basically compromising the performance of games for the sake of visual fidelity, because that's when games really started to look cinematic. I mean, they've been cinematic since PS2, or even late PS1 with Metal Gear Solid, but they really went into like full movie mode for the 7th generation, and that's when they started to play at lower frame rates and stuff. But the truth is, I mean, these games also run at pretty low frame rates. Now, that wasn't necessarily... the thing is, I do firmly believe that if they were to simplify the visuals even further, they could get these games to run very, very smooth. Not just 30, probably 60, in fact. You know? There's this like really shitty, or at least very badly designed Frogger game for the PS1. There you go, we can land that no problem. And that game, it's not a great game. Go watch Nitro Rad's video; it's really good on that game. But it does run very smooth. It runs at like a pretty much rock solid 30, which for a console of the 90s, you know what, the mid 90s, in fact the PS1, early 90s, because 1994, right? I gotta admit that's actually really solid. Just a constant 30 on that game. The sequel looked a lot better, but you know, it kind of ran like shit. So I'm just genuinely surprised that even by this point, they were just totally willing to throw performance out the window. And I get it, it's because of that wow factor. It's because it was just so insane, right? To see something like this. Like 5 years after the original, which even the original looked pretty damn good for its time, and I'd say it's aged better because of how fluent it is, how smooth it runs. And I'm not some, like, give me 120 hertz, 144 hertz or die type PC gamer guy. I mean, I do play on PC primarily, but I love consoles so much. You know, not enough to actually go out and buy them, especially not ones that are technically outdated by several decades. But I still do have an appreciation for them, and I love to experience the games in any way that I can get my grubby little hands on, you know what I mean? Fucking, what are you gonna do, Nintendo? Well, actually they could do a lot, but they just, I don't know. Also, this is the mission that I was talking about. It's completely retarded. You see this big strip, right? That makes it seem like you can just land anywhere. You can't. I have to land this at a very, very particular point on the track. Not there. That's a fail. I'm pretty sure that's a fail, right? Is it a fail? You're supposed to stop. Thank you. Oh, landing accomplished. Huh. Okay, because I swear to God, every single other time it would always give me some shit like, oh, you missed the landing area, landed outside of landing zone. Damn, I got a gold, in fact. Wow, okay, I'm really fucking good at this. Oh, wait, I have to finish the fucking hand glider mission if I want to progress. Erg. Well, I mean, I think I've gotten most of my points across. Let's give this one more fucking shot. All right, let's go. Maybe it's because I picked the other character. See, because my first time doing this and I had a pretty easy time, I picked that bimbo with the big tits, that one. I don't fucking know her name. You know, because of course this game is for children, so we gotta have a prawn star, obviously. Okay, the music's very nice, though. Hold on, let me shut up for a second. I swear I've heard this music before. It's really, really good. It's so calm. Like, really, and as I said, this game it's not aged super great, but it has aged better than Mario 64, if you ask me, in terms of its presentation, purely. Of course, Mario 64 was absolutely... This game is complete bullshit. Mario 64 was completely revolutionary when it came to its design, but this game, I feel, is a little more polished, a little easier to go back to from a visual standpoint. How do you do this, man? How are you supposed to do this? I don't understand. How can the first mission be the most impossible one? What am I fundamentally not doing correctly? I don't understand. We're gonna wrap this episode up real quick, but I have some fucking beef with this mission. How can the first mission, I did the other two easily, I got a gold on one of them. And yet this one right here is just an absolute pile of dick. So it's like, okay, what do I do? Obviously, I shouldn't decrease my speed too soon. So maybe I should just, okay, keep it going. Ring cleared, bonus ring cleared, right, bonus ring cleared, and now I slow down, but softly. Oh, fuck. Alright. The warning, caution, speed decreasing. Okay, great. Do I maybe... Oh, wait. I have to stick my legs out. So what did we learn today? That sometimes the technically inferior visuals age better. And when you're trying to... Oh. Wait, I didn't qualify. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Alright, we're gonna do it one more time. We're doing it one more time. I got some fucking beef with this shit. You are not going to. So now we know how to land. Remember, you stick your feet out. Alright? Much like on certain parts of the internet, sticking your feet out is how you win. But really, it's just fucking ridiculous that it... Okay, I mean, because it makes sense, I guess. You can't really land, like, chest first. But at the same time, I imagine it would just kind of count as a landing anyway. Like, you know, video game logic. There's, like, this fine line between, like, you gotta know when video game logic exists and when, like, actual logic exists, if that makes sense. Because some games don't adhere to one or the other. So it's just, okay, what do I do then? Well, I think I know what to do. Get pretty low, do this, and then land right in the spot. Landing accomplished. Now, I was on the fucking bullseye for that one. If you don't give me that shit, I'm gonna kill you. 94 points. What do I get? Do I get anything? Yeah, it's playing the music. I get a gold. And with that, fucking hell. Yeah, okay, there's basically nothing new. There's some more locations and such, but I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say when it came to this game. What's this bird, man? Oh. No, we're not gonna check that out right now. That was basically Pilotwings. Pilotwings 1 and 64. Games that, you know what? Both of them have aged kind of okay. The first one, funnily enough, I believe is aged better than the second, mainly because it just runs so much better, and it's got that pixel art charm. Nothing can beat pixel art. But, you know, this game does hold up better in terms of presentation than I would expect for a very early N64 game. It certainly ain't no fucking Wario apparition or anything like that. It does not have that personalized look, or... I mean, really, it's not even like just Mario 64, but still, actually Mario Kart 64 holds up alright, because, to be fair, it's much easier to make a kart race, blah, 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 whatever. This has been Focus on B, the single-part video series where I take a look at a game that I definitely wouldn't want to let's play, especially considering how fucking long it took me to do the first mission, Jesus Christ. But it definitely was something worth talking over, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Focus on B. See you then.